What's going on, YouTube? Welcome back to another episode on the Life is Huncho YouTube channel. It's your host, the one and only Hugh Huncho, on the mic today, right? And we're going to go ahead and get right into it. This is a follow-up to the last video that we had talking about how to be a man in 2025, and you do not want to miss any single thing that I'm about to say here, right? As a man, right, one of your biggest things that you need to focus on in life is your purpose, right? Why exactly are you here? What were you born for? Right? We weren't just created. Your parents didn't just have you, right? You, even though you could have been a mistake, you were divinely planned by God, right? So get that in your head right now that you are on earth for a reason. But you have to ask yourself, what is that reason? What is your purpose? What is the reason you're here? And what are you supposed to contribute to society? And what are you supposed to leave behind when you're done? Some people, they like to say, oh, hey, at the end of the day, I just want to live my life. I just want to chill. I just want to, relax. I just want an easygoing job and have an easygoing life. Cool. If that's what you want to do, that's fine, right? If you want to be average, you want to chill, you want to coast through life, that's okay. That's perfectly fine. But at the end of the day, you still have a purpose. You still have something that you are here to do, whether that is to travel the world, whether that is to experience life, whether that is to build a family, whether that is to start a business, whether that is to learn the truth about the world. You have something that you're passionate about. And to be a man, you have to be walking, living, and breathing in your purpose. You have to take some time and figure out, what is it, right? Are you here to help other people? Are you here to, develop yourself to being the best version? Are you here to become a doctor, a lawyer? Are you here to become an entrepreneur and build a business, right, that lives on for years after you're gone, right? Sit and really think about that. The next thing as a man that you need to do is you need to have passion for what you're doing. There's too many men that are lackadaisical. There's too many men that are okay with being okay. And it shows in your actions. It shows when you talk to people. It shows when you go on dates. And it shows when you interview. You're not passionate about something, right? We all know those people who call themselves nonchalant. In reality, you aren't nonchalant. When you were a kid, you were hyperactive. You were always running all over the place. You always like to have fun. Something happened when you were a kid that made you become nonchalant. Whether somebody broke your heart, whether you started getting bullied, whether somebody judged you, whether somebody criticized you, there was something that made you try and kind of shrink in a way and be the person that's quiet. And in reality, you might not be the loudest person. You might not be an extrovert, but you are passionate about something. There is something that gets you going. There is something that when somebody starts talking about it, your face lights up and you get excited about it, whether that's sports, whether that's video games, whether that's women, shit. It could be anything, but you are passionate about something, right? There's too many men that are just mediocre and ordinary, when in reality, there's something that you really truly enjoy, but you like to play it safe. There's no fun in safe. And as a kid, you knew that. You have to tap back in with that inner child that at one point you hid him in the closet. You put him away for some reason. A real man is a man who lives entirely in himself, right? A real man is a man who accepts all sides of himself, the deep down side where most men are children at heart, but they try and put this tough exterior for whatever reason. And what happens is that you live alone, you stay by yourself so much that you almost become quiet, that you don't even recognize who you are. Your younger self doesn't recognize who you are. So you have to tap back into that passion. Your passion and your purpose should be the number one things that you focus on, right? Because those are the things that are going to help you get everything else that you want. You might want the nice car. You might want the nice house. You might want the nice family. But if you don't have no purpose, you don't have no passion for what you're doing, you're not going to get it. Or if you get it, it's not going to be the kind of quality or standard that you're going to want. So sitting on that topic about your past self, a real man is a man who accepts his past trauma, right? Accepts his past for what it is and is okay with that dark side of him. We all have a dark side, and you know exactly what I'm talking about. You have a side of you that if somebody was to do you the wrong way, you might end up going to jail, right? You know that if someone was to really cross you, you might just snap, right? Or you have that vindictive side. You know, you have that side where you know you might be, you could say can maybe finesse, right? You know, you have that side to you, right? Whatever it is. But what happens is that we try and suppress that dark side so much to the point where it starts seeping out in other ways. What you have to do some shadow work and realize what that dark side is and accept it and learn how to control it in a healthy way and kind of use your dark side and your past trauma as fuel for your purpose, as fuel for your passion, as fuel for the work that you know you're trying to avoid, right? That's why we can't fully envelop ourselves in our work, fully envelop ourselves in our passion or in our business. It's because you're not being your authentic self. You are suppressing a side of you for whatever reason it is. Now, there are some things, right? Like if you're trying to kill people, now that side, yeah, you probably shouldn't accept that side, right? Because that's probably a really bad thing. And you probably need to go to therapy and do some real internal work. But suppressing it is still going to seep out in other ways. You have to realize what it is and then go do the work. Either that's go get help, right? Counseling, therapy, or, talk to someone, start journaling. And then once you are able to face your dark side, that's when your dark side starts giving you really fuel. We can all talk about the movies or the shows or the anime, right? That person, they might have a dark side to them, but they try and battle with that dark side throughout the storyline and they never get ahead. It's only when they accept that dark side and they learn to live with it in a healthy way do they become their full authentic self, and then they can truly find joy and peace. Another thing that a man needs to do to become a good man, once you accept that dark side, right, you have to learn how to express yourself, how to talk, how to articulate yourself in a cohesive way where people can understand what you're saying, but also you're getting the message across of how you feel or what your thought process is. Us as men in 2025, we are taught too much to be quiet and to just accept things for how it is and to just man up. I don't think just accepting bullshit, right, or just brushing things off as if it doesn't matter, as if it doesn't affect you is a manly thing to do. No, you have to stand up for yourself. You have to be willing to tell someone when no means no, right? You have to be willing to tell someone like, hey, I'm uncomfortable with this. This doesn't align with my values or my morals. You might have been raised differently. This is not how I was raised. So if that's what you want to do, that's fine. But this is what I'm going to do. You could either like it or not. You got to be willing to stand confident on that, because at the end of the day, whoever it is that you're talking to, they're a human being just like you. Think about it. They bleed red just like you. So why are you going to dwindle your light for someone else when they might not even discover the light that they have in themselves already? And on the subject about standing up for yourself, as a man, you have to learn to stop living by your parents' standards and expectations. Because yes, even though they might have given birth to you, even though they might have loved you, even though they might have raised you and took care of you, at the end of the day, they had a life of their own that they lived before you were born. And you have a life of your own right now that you have to live and that you're going to continue living once they're gone. Right? So to an extent, yes, you want to have respect for your parents. Yes, you want to love and cherish and consider your parents. But at the end of the day, there's too many mama boys out there. There's too many men that are living by the ridicule or the standard of their father that honestly, at this point, might not really amount to nothing, right? You have to really start looking at your parents for human beings and not just being your parents, because that's what they are. They are human beings that make mistakes, that don't know everything. They know a lot because they've experienced and they lived life before you, right? They have a world of wisdom that you might have not tapped into just yet. But at the end of the day, if you don't learn how to make your own decisions as a man and stand firm in what you're thinking and saying, you are not becoming a man. You are now just the extension of your parents, and you are going to get the same results that your parents have. If they have great results, fine, listen to them. If they have okay results, listen to them with a grain of salt and learn from their mistakes so you can do better. Not repeat the same thing that the previous generation did and expect different results. That's what our parents try and make us do. They try and teach us the same thing that they did without taking a look around and realizing, man, I might have not lived the life that I wanted to. So a lot of times they try and live their life through us. But in reality, you have your own life to live, right? And you will never be able to fully envelop yourself in your purpose or in your passion if you're always living thinking of someone else that came before you. So we have to learn from our parents' mistakes, take their advice, use it as insight, as perspective, but still make your decision at the end of the day. Even if it might align with what they're saying, or it might be against it, at the end of the day, you made that decision. And on the subject about having respect for people, right? As a man, you should give respect out first because you're expecting respect back, right? However, not everyone is deserving of respect just because they're human. Respect is something that's given, and if it's disrespected, it has to be taken away. Respect is something that's earned. People earn it by giving you respect first. If they give you disrespect, that means they did not earn it, so you should not be giving it back. And the reason why I say this is because a lot of men, too many men, are putting women on a super high pedestal that they do not deserve to be at. Right. And this is no bash to women, because at the end of the day, there are a lot of amazing women. I'm with one of them. Right. There's a lot of them that they work hard. Right. They're faithful. Right. They're loyal. They're nurturing. Right. They're feminine. They're kind. They're nice to people. They have a big heart. They're giving. They're loving. Right. There's a lot of women out there. And then there's a lot of women who are the opposite of all of those things. However, us, for whatever reason, we still try and put them all on this equal playing field of respect as if all of them worked for it. They were born out of a womb just like you. They're humans just like you. They're human just like you. So why are you going to put someone on a pedestal that you don't even know? You see what I'm saying? Social media has painted a terrible perception of what the men and the feminine dynamic should be, right? And men are the only solution to fixing this, right? We have to start giving people respect that earn it and not tolerating disrespectful people who don't deserve respect to begin with. We have to work on ourselves so we can become the best version of ourselves, so we can love who we are. So the respect that we get, it's given to us because we deserve it and not because we feel entitled to it and not because we're demanding it from someone else. The reason why I don't get disrespected is because I hold myself to a high standard and I don't tolerate any disrespect. The moment that I hear or feel that I'm being disrespected, I'm comfortable enough to tell someone like, hey, I didn't really like how you said that. Can you reiterate it? Or I don't even entertain it. I just walk away. Because at the end of the day, it's like, I don't have to deal with you. I have my own life. You have your own life. Maybe you weren't taught or raised with manners, but I was. So if this is how you talk to me, then I'm gonna let you be so you could talk to everyone else like that. And then you start pushing everyone away till you get to the point where you're alone. And then people start disrespecting you. You see how that works? But for me, I give out respect to people, right? I always say, thank you, ma'am. Yes, sir. And then I expect it back. And because I give it, I get it back. And the moment that I don't get it back, I take my respect away. Now I'm not going to talk to you the same way that I was talking to you before. Now I'm going to tell you what it is. Hey, listen, real talk, don't talk to me like that. Real talk, I don't like that joke. That don't really sit right with me. Real talk, hey, the next time you want to bring up something that I did or that I didn't do, address it to me in a different way. Or if not, we're not going to communicate or talk anymore. And you got to stand firm on that. And the reason why I say you have to do that and you can't put women on a pedestal is because the moment you tolerate disrespect, the moment you put someone on a pedestal, right, is the moment you now become beneath them. And when have you ever met a woman date a man that she thinks that she's superior than or is beneath her, right? And the thing that is really baffling about this is that a lot of women don't even think that they're all that. They paint an illusion to themselves that they're the it girl. Think about it. If every girl thinks that they're the it girl, how in the world can every girl be the it girl? They know this. They are logical. It's just that they rather live in the fantasy because it's more comfortable for them. And I'm cool with that. You could think you're the it girl. That's fine with me. I have no problem with that. You are the bee's knees, the legs, and the arms. But I know what reality is. I know what's really going on. You see what I'm saying? So I'm going to treat you like how I know you truly view yourself. You wake up in the morning and you see who you really are. Makeup, lashes, hair, all of that is not there. So you know who you truly are, right? You become the it girl. You become someone that's worthy of being put on a pedestal when you're checking off all boxes. But not a lot of people are checking off all boxes. So we have to learn to be humble, but also be confident in who we are. So when someone's not humble, right, it shows. It shows, right? Because what it is because it's insecurity. Someone who is humble is secure in themselves that they don't have to brag and boast that they're the it girl because they know truly deep down inside they are. So us as men, we have to see through the illusion, right? And understand that you become a great man when you put in the work and you get to where you want to be at. And it's the same thing with a woman. So if you want to become a good man in 2025, you have to do all these things. You have to be following and living in your purpose. You have to be doing what you need to do with passion, right? And excitement for it. You have to be willing to stand up for yourself, give respect to individuals who deserves it, and expect respect back in return. And live for yourself, not for your parents, not for your friends, and not for your woman. You have to live for yourself. At the end of the day, you're the man who's leading your life. It's a privilege for anybody else to attach themselves onto your journey if you are leading yourself down the right path. And that goes back to the first point of having your purpose. Take some time to discover your purpose. It's not going to happen overnight. It's not going to happen in a year. It takes time to develop your purpose because it takes time for you to really learn who you truly are. Do that internal work, right? Accept the trauma and the past for what it is. It happened to you. It's okay. It doesn't make you though. The moment you don't accept your past, you try and suppress it, and then you can't live with it. Accept it, learn to love it, learn to live with it. And one day it's going to be a beautiful story that you're going to tell someone else or tell your kids. And learn to talk and express yourself, right? Because the ability to talk is the most powerful thing. You have to learn how to communicate your thoughts, your actions, and your feelings. You don't have to say a lot. You don't have to be the most talkative person in the world. I'm not telling you to do that, right? But if you know something is wrong, speak up. And don't just suppress and quiet your voice just to make other people feel happy or comfortable. Your comfortability is more important than their comfortability. And with that being said, right, if you didn't check the first video, part 1, click this link right here so you could tune into the first part of how to be a good man 2025. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button down below, right? I drop 2 videos every week, right? You don't want to miss it, about various different topics on how to become the best version of yourself mentally, physically, financially, and spiritually. And until the next video, I'm your host, Hugh Huncho, and I'm out.